Spending your thoughts is unproductive. Investing your thoughts is productive. So what would be a way to spend your thoughts versus invest your thoughts? So spending your thoughts are to think about what could go wrong, to think about the worst case scenario, to think about past losses and failures, to think about how you can't instead of how you can. So to invest your thoughts would be to understand that every thought has an effect. Thought is energy. This really, really helped me because when I thought thoughts were just thoughts that were happening within my mind and they didn't have an impact and it didn't matter, whatever, I could just go willy-nilly with them. But when I really started to believe that thoughts are energy, that a thought transmutes into a different form of energy. So it starts as a thought and it transmutes to a physical thing. So this is where Bob says, if you could see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. He's saying a thought is energy that transmutes into physical energy. It transmutes into a physical thing. So thoughts of, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm insecure, nobody loves me, will manifest themselves into the physical experience of conflict within your relationships. Do we see the connection? If you are insecure and you don't love yourself and you do not believe that you are worthy, you are going to get offended, you are going to get your feelings hurt, you are going to take things personal, and you are going to create fights within your relationships. You are also going to manifest people who also are insecure, So guess what? You have literally created the experience of fighting. So many times we hear things like, well, I grew up in a really chaotic family. We fought a lot. I'm like, okay, what's your family like now? What's your family unit like now that, we fight a lot? Interesting. So our thoughts are energy. And even the example, you guys hear this all the time and you see it happen. I will literally think about somebody and then they'll text me. What is that about? Because thoughts are energy. People say to me all the time, I'll message them and they'll be like, I was just thinking about you. And I'm like, I must have felt it. You thought about me, which had me think about you, and then I messaged you. So this is how powerful our thoughts are. So when we're thinking in lack and limitation, when we are thinking things like, I can't afford it, I don't have enough money, this is too expensive, it's an energy that creates. So you're creating the experience of not enough money. The universe says yes. God says yes. This was the best belief that I ever shifted, one of the best beliefs I've ever shifted. I used to believe that the universe or God would supply based on what I wanted. So I want money. Yes, please. Please deliver me the money. What I didn't understand is that that was a conscious thought, a want, a desire, but the sponsoring thought was, I don't have any and I'm not good enough for it. So you wanting more money, I want more money, I need it, here is it. The universe is saying, yes, here is wanting more money. You to stay there. The energy of, I'm single and I can't find a boyfriend. Yes, remain single without a boyfriend. So this is why the I want you but I don't need you energy is so beautiful, because in the I want you, I don't need you energy, there's no energy if I don't have it. It's an energy if I have it. It's like, yes, it's there. Thank you. I'm good. Like, I'm good on my own. We see this with infertility. All the time we see this with infertility. I'm trying to get pregnant. And when I stop getting pregnant, when I stop trying to get pregnant is when I get pregnant. What happened there? You released the belief that it wasn't happening. You let go of the pressure. You detached from the outcome you let. So this is where we want to start thinking from an idea of abundance and prosperity instead of thinking from lack and limitation. So we are going to now invest our thoughts instead of spend our thoughts. So to invest our thoughts around abundance and prosperity, what would that look like? How could we think from abundance instead of thinking from lack? You will never hear me say, I can't afford it. It's too expensive. I'm broke. I don't have any money. Even if my experience, okay, so I would love, okay, I'm speaking to the universe right now. I would love a $20 million home in Malibu on the water. I would love that. That would be an experience that I would say yes to. So I want to get myself as close to that as possible. So I went and toured homes with a real estate agent in Malibu. And I even booked a trip to go stay in Malibu so that I can be like, yeah, this is me living in Malibu in my house, you know? And so I took myself like as close to it as I possibly can to have the experience. But I don't have $20 million in the bank account right now to exchange for an oceanfront property in Malibu, okay? But I am never going to say to you, I can't afford it, it's too expensive, blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, I'm open to receive. Whenever the money flows, I'll buy the house. Yep. So I'm choosing the home knowing that the money will flow, knowing that any idea held in the screen of the mind will manifest in the physical form by law. So the how and the when, it's not up to me. That's God's responsibilities. But my responsibilities are to act in the assumption that it is done, that I'm the version of myself who does live there. And so there's no lack of limitation in my consciousness. I wasn't touring the homes going, oh, it'll never happen. This is too much money. It's too expensive. I'm too far off. No, I was just like, I'm open to receive it. I'll go tour the homes. Oh, I can't wait for the day that I live in a house like this. Do we know the new idea of prosperity for ourselves? Do we know that? The new idea of prosperity. It's money in circulation. It's freedom, time and financial freedom. It's doing things for others that we desire. It's doing things for the world that we desire. On my first list that I did of all the things that I desire, I wanted to, what's the word I'm looking for? Sponsor a village in Africa. And it was 25,000 US. And I remember that first year, I was like, I'm doing it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to sponsor this village in Africa. And it happened real quick. Like I was able to do it pretty fast. And it was because of the desire for more money. I would not have been able to do that if I didn't allow myself to want money. And yeah, I sponsored that village very quickly, but I also spent a lot of money on myself as well. So this is where I want you to see that you want to be open to receive. The really beautiful thing and the effortless way lies in the changing and shifting of your assumptions. So here's an example. In my network marketing business, before I launched this business, I took a certain amount of action every day. So I literally, let's say, I reached out to 10 people a day about my business or my product. So I had a standard of the way I showed up for my business every day. I would get like 1 or 2 people, maybe sometimes 3, that would be like, you know what? Yeah, I'd love to learn more about your product or your business. But it was a small percentage, 20 to 30%. Then I changed my consciousness. So I created a new image and self-concept of who I am. I started operating as the best of myself, started to believe in myself. I was confident. I started to think of possibility instead of limitation. I started to ask for more money, all of these things. So I shifted my assumptions. I rose on to a new level of consciousness, a new frequency of vibration. I didn't change my behavior. I still just reached out to the 10. 7 to 8 would say yes instead of 2 to 3. That's what I believe the power behind assumption changes are in your consciousness. I also believe, though, that there is an action piece. And so you have to do something in order to tell the world that you're open for business, whatever your business is. Whether your business is coaching or network marketing or real estate, or maybe you have a digital marketing company or a marketing firm, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right? So every single day, you want to make sure that the business is open to receive, that you have the open sign, the door is open, it's unlocked. Like, that's how I kind of think of it. So if you change your assumptions, there is nothing else that you can do but just keep doing what you've always been doing and allow it to come in. It doesn't mean stopping your business, doing nothing, having no offer available, not helping anyone, not serving anyone, and just receiving like this. It's not what it means. That is actually against universal law. So I think some people read that from a place of, all I have to do is sit here and dream about money coming in and money will just come in. But you still need a vessel or a vehicle for the receipt of your abundance to come through. We're used to it coming through traditional jobs, like an employer. It doesn't come from your employer, it comes through your employer. We're actually just getting you to be an employer yourself, basically. So it's just changing. It's a shift in consciousness. But I have to tell you, the really, really beautiful thing is that I don't work way harder or way more or more aggressively or anything than I ever have before. It's actually less. Like, I have this beautiful balance between living in my passion and my purpose and doing what I love, and then experiencing all that life has to offer in its fullness. And so that's the vision that I see for all of you, is that you can be, productive members of society, significantly impacting collective consciousness in whatever way you do, providing service, expanding and growing, becoming the best of yourself, and being compensated greatly for it. That's what I see. But yes, in the moments when you want to force it, you want to try to work harder, you want to hustle, you're observing it's not there, and you're like, I need to do more. Go read Neville. What can you do between the realization and the assumption? Nothing. It's because I believed that the piling of things would bring me more money. The piling of things would make me more successful. The more I was doing, the more worthy I would be. So I've stripped it away now. People ask me almost on a daily basis to become a part of something. Join this network marketing, sell this course or program, invest in this real estate, do this, do that, launch this book, be a contributing author in this book. No. This is what I'm doing. This is what I love. This is what I'm passionate about. This is my purpose. This is my calling. It is to help you see that success is available to you through this information, nothing else. So I don't need to pile it on anymore. I don't need to add to it. I can experience what I want to experience because this is what I'm asking for. And the most beautiful thing is I led myself to believe now that when I relax, I am more powerful. When I rest, I am making more money. When I shop, I make more money. Like, I've shifted my beliefs big time. The new idea of prosperity now, we're going to think from it. So we're going to pay attention to our thoughts. We're going to pay attention to our language. We are going to notice how abundant we already are. Lack and limitation. Do you still feel that you need things? Or do you feel like, okay, life is good, but I'd love more. Grateful, but never satisfied. People will say to me, I can manifest all of this, but I can't seem to manifest that. Don't say that. I'm becoming more aware. I'm becoming more aware of how to. So to be in a state of gratitude yourself, will bring to you more of that same thing. Do we believe that money is abundant? Is it everywhere? Is there a lot of it? Yeah. So you want to be open to receive that to yourself. It's going to mean a different version of you. It's going to mean new thoughts, new beliefs. It's going to mean an expansion in your consciousness and awareness. So let me read this one part from here. Okay. He says, Robert Russell, those of you asking, he says, make a careful study of any rich person you know and see if their prevailing mental state is not one of opulence and plenty. It never dawns on him or her that he or she could ever be impoverished or poor. He or she builds the idea into his mental attitude and is constantly supported by it. He lives in the expectation of prosperity. What does it mean to expect prosperity? Expect prosperity. Expectation is a really powerful word here. Assumption. What do we assume to be true? Convince yourself more money is coming this month, more money will come. But if you are somebody that is paid a salary right now or an hourly wage, you have chosen a vehicle to manifest abundance through that is limited. Unless you work more hours, get a promotion, or get a new job, you're limited. So you might have to go a little bit further and choose to do something that has no limitations. So I had to stop being a registered nurse in order to remove myself from the limitations with which that vessel would allow me. So I wasn't still working as a registered nurse and just hoping that they decide to pay me more one day. I had to make a new decision. I had to move into doing something different. A CEO mindset is very different from an employee mindset. And so me shifting from an employee mindset to a CEO mindset, boom, I was unstoppable. I was fearless. So what's more secure? Working for yourself. I think it's the most secure thing you can do. Because I trust in me. I have faith in me. I know as long as I keep showing up, as long as I keep helping people, I will forever be a vessel, an open vessel to receive. It doesn't mean that I'm always going to make more money, because I might shrink my vessel a little bit. I might have a moment where I'm doubting myself a little bit. So it'll tighten. Then I'll just open it back up again. I'll be like, oh, why was I doubting myself? But the how is not up to you. But there is this thing though, Melissa, I will say, is trusting your intuition. So when you are asking for more, and when you become a vibrational match to more money, you will attract people, places, opportunities, things. You will have ideas that you can all take intuitive action upon, which will help you to bring more in. So don't worry about the how, but be open to hear the how. That's what I mean. Like that bridge is always going to unfold. So it's like paying attention. And intuition comes in like this little, I should message this person. I should post about this. I should do this. I should do that. That's your intuition. When you are operating on a new frequency of wealth and you feel different and you're confident in yourself, trust your intuition. So Robert Russell talks about, and I love this language and that's why I use it. In my Wealth from Within course, lesson 4 is called Putting the Prosperity Idea to Work. And I love it. So I use it. I don't change it because I think it's brilliant. If you're working from a new idea, you're taking different action. Or you're taking the same action in a different feeling. Right? So paying your bills. Let's say you have a $200 bill to pay today. You can pay that bill in lack and limitation feeling, or you can pay that bill in abundance and prosperity feeling. Either way, you're paying the bill. So choose which way you're going to pay it. I am so grateful that I have this money right now. I am so grateful that I get to pay this bill. This feels so nice. Universe, thank you. Versus, I don't want to pay this bill. Oh God, it's going to remove money from my bank account and then I'm not going to have as much and yada, yada, yada. So same thing, two different feelings completely. Then once you change the way you feel about spending money right now and the same amount of money, then I want you to just increase your bills a little bit. So what I mean by that is, don't buy the cheapest thing on the dinner menu when you go out for dinner. Buy what you want. So my mom used to do this all the time. We'd sit down, what's for sale? What's the special? And she would choose the special because it was a reduced price. So she would choose from the specials. It's very, very different to go out to a restaurant and to just choose what you want to eat without the price. Don't look at the price. That's different. So you see how that'll change your energy? You're putting the prosperity idea to work. I am worthy of ordering what I want, even if it's $5 more. I don't want to get a Tim Hortons. I want to get a Starbucks coffee. Okay, these are for the Canadians. So I'm going to buy what I truly want, what makes me feel a certain way. It's not going to be one of those things that I'm going to eat because I want my body to last a long time. Let's just say that. The other thing too is putting the prosperity idea to work would be to feel abundant in any way today, right now, no matter how much money you have. You can feel abundant with $10 in your account. $10. You have $10 more than $0. Amazing. Some people are living in hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt. And it's so interesting how we're willing to go into debt to buy a house because it's normal to do that. Hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy a house, but we won't go into debt for any other reason. And it scares the crap out of us. But for a mortgage, you're willing to do it. So, interesting. But I went into debt, $50,000. Chris and I took Bob's course, I became a coach, cost $50,000. So I went into debt, $50,000 to invest in myself, built a multi-million-dollar business from it. But I had to decide I wasn't going to be afraid of debt anymore. It's still money and still abundance. It was just somebody else's money that I'm using. So debt, in fact, isn't going into the negative. It's actually somebody giving you money. You're getting it. And you get a long time to pay it back. Amazing. Isn't that special? See how I'm just changing my perception of debt. And can debt hurt you? Physically hurt you? No, it can. And even the worst case scenario isn't even that bad. You go bankrupt. You're still not physically hurt. You're still alive and well. Still kicking. Debt is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. But if you see it that way. But a lot of us are so afraid of going into debt that it keeps you in lack and limitation. It was the debt that allowed me to move forward. I see it as like a boomerang. You know, when you have one of those boomerangs, not a boomerang, no, what is that called? A slingshot. So with a slingshot, you have to pull it back. And the more you pull it back, the further it'll go. So I see that 50K when we went into debt, we downsized, we moved into a smaller house, we went into debt, launched the business. That's the slingshot. It's okay to want more money. It's good to want more money. Having more money is my natural state. I'm open to receive. Build that belief.